Hey everybody, Jack Delahy here, founder of collegeconsulting.us, and today I actually got my laptop and a whiteboard here to join us. Reason is I actually just started reading a book and I came across a passage that I said this relates to my students so much I have to make a video about it. So here it goes. The book that I'm reading is called The 5 Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. We'll link it in the description below. Basically, the theme is obviously most people, when they think of wealth, think of financial wealth, but it goes into a lot more of the other aspects of wealth, such as time wealth, such as relationship wealth, and others that are really important. And given at collegeconsulting.us, we stress such a holistic college application journey. We stress that students can reach their dream schools while getting 8 hours of sleep a night. It really related. I'm actually going to read the passage here that jogged my memory that led to this entire whiteboard here, and then I'm actually going to explain how it relates. If you don't mind, a little reading. From Sahil Bloom in chapter 3. He says, in Through the Looking Glass, Lewis Carroll's dark and ominous sequel to Alice in Wonderland, there is a scene in which Alice is running with the Red Queen that offers an important metaphor for our modern struggle with time. All she remembers is that they were running hand in hand, and the Queen went so fast that it was all she could do to keep up with her. And still the Queen kept crying, faster, faster. The most curious part of this thing was that the trees and the other things around them never changed their places at all. However fast they went, they never seemed to pass anything. When Alice questions the Red Queen about their lack of forward progress, which appears to defy the law of physics, the two have a short yet poignant exchange. Well, in our country, said Alice, still panting a little, you generally get to somewhere else if you ran very fast for a long time, as we've been doing. A slow sort of country, said the Queen. Now here, you see, it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place. If you want to get somewhere else, you must run at least twice as fast as that. The Red Queen effect says that we must run just to stay in place, and that we must run even faster if we ever hope to get ahead. The term was introduced by American biologist Lee Van Valen in 1973, when he formulated the evolutionary biological hypothesis that a species must evolve if it hopes to survive. If a species fails to evolve faster than its predators, competitors, or environment, it will, quote, fall behind, fail to develop the necessary traits to survive and thrive, and become extinct. While the evolutionary biological application is interesting, the Red Queen effect's application to our modern lives and careers is certainly more relevant to this book and your life. If you're reading this book, chances are you're victim of the Red Queen's paradox, running faster and faster just to stay in the same place. Rest assured, you're not alone. He then goes on to state, several pages later, where children of prior generations were encouraged to explore their curiosity, children of the current generation are told to fill their resumes with every possible after-school activity and hour of faux community service, all in the hopes of running just a tiny bit faster than the others, sprinting towards the same end. So, why do I bring up that quote today? Well, like I said, at collegeconsulting.us, we like to teach a holistic, high-leverage approach to college admissions, one that can and should be fun, and at the same time can lead to outsized results. So what I want to do here is actually compare the treadmill versus the rocket ship, the Red Queen approach versus the authentic thinking approach. And I'm going to go back and forth. With each approach, I'm going to list a quote, a process, a theme, and then associated timing. And I'd be interested. Feel free, if you want, put a note in the comments. I will review every single comment on your thoughts at the end of this video. Put a note in the comment if this jogged your own thinking, if you're a parent watching this and you have an early stage high schooler or even middle schooler on their upcoming college approach. Are you proactively taking an authentic rocket ship style approach? Or perhaps are you falling into the Red Queen approach? And if at this point of the video you say, I don't know, that's what I'm going to go through right now. So the treadmill approach, the Red Queen approach, the running ever faster and yet looking around and saying, nothing's really moving. That is what truly, I've been doing this now for 15 years. I've worked with thousands of students. My team has worked with tens of thousands of students collectively. We would say 99 to 99.5% of high school students, and yes, their parents fall into this category. That's not their fault. I think a lot of lessons out there say, do more, do better, do it quicker, sleep less. But the quote to define this way of thinking as it comes to college planning is just work harder. just put your head down. Just take one more AP class. Just crank out that essay at 2 a.m. This is the approach of work harder, not smarter. This is the Red Queen approach. The rocket ship approach, right? Compare a treadmill to a rocket ship. Treadmill, you are running very fast, you are staying in the same. Rocket ship is an entirely different vessel. It is an entirely different avenue to progress. The quote associated with the rocket ship approach that, yes, I would say about, of all the students that I've seen in 15 plus years of doing this, is about between the top 0.5, meaning 1 out of every 200 students, to about the top 1% of students. 1 out of every 100 actually embrace this approach. Now, in our program, 100% of students embrace this approach. That is why we have outsized results. But in general, out there in the world of high school students, I see about 0.5 to 1% of students actually embrace this approach. The quote I'd associate with the rocket ship approach to college planning, to college prep, is smarter, not harder. Is this notion of what high leverage activities can I accomplish that have outsized results? It is this notion of embracing that not every activity has the same ratio of inputs to outputs. Not every 1 hour of action that you can claim is associated with college preparation has the same results. 1 hour in a certain category has far more outsized results than 1 hour of input in another category. Let's get back to the treadmill. Let's get back to that Red Queen. Let's get back to that notion of running, but having really relatively nothing change around you. In terms of the process that I've seen 99.5% of students have, it's this notion of blindly charging forward. And by the way, if you're watching this video, that was me in my early stages of high school. Blindly charging forward, working bleary-eyed late into the night on homework assignments, having no true understanding of what colleges actually looked for in an application, but looking around me, seeing what my peers did and saying, well, they're doing it, so I'm just going to blindly charge forward and hope for the best. The rocket ship way, the high leverage way, the process can be defined as this. In carpentry, there's a common phrase that says measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. This can also be defined as know the rules of the game before playing it. Jack Delahy, as a freshman and as a sophomore in high school, did not know the rules of the game at all. Did not know what he was trying to build in terms of a profile, what college admissions was actually looking for. All Jack Delahy was doing was blindly charging, taking the next class, the hardest class, the top tier class, because guess what? Everyone said that's what you should do. He had no understanding of the rules of the game. But here was the thing. Jack Delahy in 9th grade and 10th grade blindly was playing the game. He didn't understand the rules. What's funny is Jack Delahy in 9th and 10th grade was an athlete. He played a lot of games. He knew the rules of all those games he was playing. But weirdly, when it came to one of the most important things he would go through, college admissions, early high school Jack Delahy did not know the rules to the game. He was blindly charging forward. When it comes to the philosophy or logic behind the Red Queen, the treadmill style thinking that the vast majority of Americans in the United States embrace, it's this notion of do what everyone else is doing. As an 8th grader, as a 9th grader, you look up at those 11th graders and 12th graders and you say, well, what are they doing? They're taking the hardest classes. They are stressed out with homework. They're doing hundreds of community service hours. They're taking DECA. They are doing National Honor Society. I must therefore do all those things. But unfortunately, what they're not looking is at the results that are coming of the actions that everyone else is doing. Folks, if you want to get into an Ivy League caliber school these days, 94% of those applicants will get rejected. Depending on the Ivy League school, it's anywhere between 92% to 97% of those applicants will get rejected. By nature, if you do what everyone else is doing, you will likely be in that 92 to 97% pool. Most people get rejected from their dream schools. Now, let's go over, again, to the rocket ship, to the authentic thinking, to the first principles thinking way of what really are the high leverage activities in college admissions. And the theme, philosophy and logic behind this bucket, this camp, the top 1% of students is this. Most people, most students, most high schoolers get rejected from their dream schools. I took a logic class in college and it goes like this. State the fact. I want a different result. What's the result you're looking for? Therefore, now insert, I must take a unique, different approach. Unique, different actions than others. Most people get rejected from their dream schools. I want a different result, admission into their dream schools. Therefore, I must take unique, different actions than others. This would satisfy my logic class that I took in college. This is a sound statement. Most people get rejected, therefore you must do something else. But instead of just saying, well, no, that doesn't apply to me, the top 1% of students lean into this. They embrace that this thinking might be a little bit uncomfortable. And embracing and working past that discomfort is what yields outsized results. It's why year after year we look at our students' success and they say, wow, I had the grades and test scores that were below the median 50% of applicants, but I got in, right? Because you took a different approach. You embraced the rocket ship vessel and rejected the treadmill Red Queen. Now let's go to timing. Red Queen approach, treadmill approach is this in terms of timing. This is far and away the most common. Quote, college prep is a stressful 12-month sprint, maybe 9-month sprint. I'll make this 9 to 12 months. College prep is a stressful 9 to 12-month sprint. Most people start thinking about college prep, I would say, back half of junior year. That's when they really start thinking about it. And so if you're applying in the late fall of senior year, 9 to 12 months is absolutely in that zone. College prep is a stressful 9 to 12-month sprint. Results are mostly out of my control. Let's hope. That is what 99 to 99.5% of America does. Let's take the high leverage approach, the rocket ship approach. In terms of timing, here is the high leverage approach. College prep is a stress-free 4-year process. I will feel completely in control throughout the journey. What a profound difference. Take that in. I'm going to read both of them again. Timing. College prep is a stressful 9 to 12 month sprint. Results are mostly out of my control. Let's hope. Versus college prep is a stress-free 4-year process. I will feel completely in control throughout. As a parent, you have a 7th grader, 8th grader, 9th grader, 10th grader watching this, right? And I bring up those 4 grades because high school is either just on the horizon or you're still in early high school. Which of those 2 approaches would you like to have? I'm not even talking for your child. I'm talking for you as a parent. Do you want a 9 to 12 month ultra stress induced sprint where you feel out of your control? Or would you prefer a top 1% mindset where you embrace that college prep is a 4-year journey, and because of that 4-year journey, you'll feel complete control throughout? Now, it's not for this video, but if you're saying, Jack, why is it a 4-year journey? What could you possibly do over 4 years? There are 4 main categories of admission: high school grades, standardized testing, your application or your essays, and then category for your story. Of those 4, 1 and 4 are 4-year journeys. High school grades and your story are 4-year journeys. What happens is when students start thinking about college in the back half of junior year, 3/4 of their high school grades are complete. Can't do anything about that. Can't go back and retroactively teach them elite study habits. Can't go back and teach them how they could spend half the amount of time or a third the amount of time processing, studying, going through crucial study tips to have high leverage study activities. Can't do that. 3/4 of the time is gone. Secondarily, these days, more than anything, your story is absolutely critical. Category 4, that is how you differentiate yourself. When we year after year see our top students in our program say, my goodness, I got outsized results compared to all of my peers who had similar grades and standardized test scores, that does not surprise us because they worked with us for 4 years to build a powerful, differentiating story. Most people get rejected from their dream schools. I want a different result. Therefore, I must take a unique, different approach. Those students embrace that. That is where the 4-year process comes in. You cannot build a powerful, differentiating, authentic story over the course of 9 to 12 months. You simply cannot. I've spoken with many admissions reps at the top schools, and they can sniff out a story that's created months before applications are due for the sake of college applications. The best part about this, those stories that you build over 4 years are authentic. They weren't done for college admission's sake. They were actually done because an individual has passions, wants to explore them, and as a byproduct, it yields outsized college admissions results. The college admissions is the cherry on top. That's the best part. Our students between the ages of 14 and 18 grow as a person. They grow as a human, and oh, by the way, as a byproduct. Yes, they get into their dream schools year after year. So, to wrap up, what approach do you think as a parent you're helping teach your middle school or high schooler if you're watching this? What approach do you think your middle schooler or high schooler is subjected to? Is it the approach of, yeah, college admission starts in 11th grade. College planning starts in 11th grade. By the way, it's super stressful. Put your head down, keep doing what everyone else does and hope? Or is it different? Are you rejecting the Red Queen approach? Are you rejecting the approach of we just keep running on a treadmill and hope? Are you thinking smarter, not harder? Are you teaching your high schooler to say, what is the end goal? We can actually work backwards for this. You're teaching your high schooler to say, it's 2025, it's not 1985 anymore. The rules have changed. We need to know the rules before we dive in. So I hope this video was helpful. Obviously, this is a video that probably yields more questions than answers. But if you actually need answers beyond this YouTube video, take a look at my channel. I have a lot of videos that are designed specifically for answers to these questions on exact steps to take. And by the way, if you want to go even more personalized, if you want to say, well, Jack, that's great. You make YouTube videos like this. Thank you. But I need a personalized approach. I want to know exactly what my 8th grader, 9th grader, 10th grader should do to prepare for the next 3, 4, 5 years. You can click link below in the description. You can book an entirely free college planning strategy session with us. I will be upfront. Our survey to even book that call is extensive. We only accept 23% of applications. We are very serious about what we do because we like to change students' lives. We are designed specifically for high-performing high schoolers and parents who care and help them deliver world-class results. So if this video was helpful, put a link in the comments, like the video, appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.